Hi everyone, welcome back to Village. I have some good news for you today. I actually want to tell you, you're not as poor as you think. I know this is shocking. You are not poor as you think. In the next 60 seconds or more, as we dive in, you will understand why you're not so poor as you think. And I get you, why you feel like this. I've been there. The first reason why we feel poor is because we get into this thing called status and wealth game. Most of us think having certain things means you're wealthy. If you drive a certain car, you're wealthy. If you have a certain watch, you're wealthy. If you have a certain phone, you're wealthy. If you live in a certain area, you're wealthy. It's not true. That's a status. Most people who are living with a certain car, a certain apartment in a certain area, are living in certain debt. Trust me, they don't have wealth. Wealth is about having actual investments that grow and fund you. And from that investment and spewing of cash, as Shashwat says, you live your life. That is called wealth. This thing is called status. And society and advertisers and marketers sell this to you, the status thing, as wealth, and it's not wealth. It's just status. It is living beyond your means and stretching yourself. So, same way when you see your cinema stars and your music stars living in a private jet and liner or driving fancy cars and media claiming them to be worth so many $1 million, most of it is not true. I would say all of it is not true, especially when it came out recently that Taylor Swift has become a billionaire. Those numbers are all just calculated. It's not that she has $1 billion sitting in her account and she can do what she wants with it. It's not true. Nor does she have investments worth $1 billion like Warren Buffett or anybody else who's a true billionaire. That's also not true. This is a calculated projection on what she is earning and what she could earn and how she has invested, it can turn. So it all turns into a bunch of maths. And if you really see wealth compared to peanuts, it's not there. So all of us suffer from this where we think status and wealth are the same. It's not, it's two different things. So if you really take an assessment of what you have, trust me, you'll be very wealthy. Second reason why most of us don't feel wealthy is we suffer from this thing called peer comparison, where we constantly compare ourselves to other people. This comes from the first point. Not only do we see status, then we compare ourselves to that person saying, okay, I don't have a BMW, I am not wearing this watch. So that means that guy is rich and I am not because I can't afford it, so I'm poor. We do not know that he's borrowed it. Doesn't own it. Like most cine stars and musicians you see when they're in a certain apartment or they're in a certain hotel, they're in a certain car in a certain event, they don't own it. Marketers do want to do product placement and they give it to them. So it's technically what they're doing is they're advertising. They don't even own it. So you just assume as a consumer of that media that they're owning it. They don't own it. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. So this comparison, constant peer comparison, is another reason why we tend to feel poor when we're really not poor. And there's something known as loss aversion, which I've written about in LinkedIn, which you can read about in more detail. What loss aversion is. It's a psychological phenomenon where a loss of 10 rupees is more than a gain of 10 rupees. That means, let's say you're getting a certain salary and you're feeling very happy about it. The minute you find out your colleague is making 100 rupees more than you or 200 rupees more than you, suddenly your salary overnight is not great. Till that point of time, when you didn't find out, you were rather happy and you're feeling very satisfied with yourself. Suddenly, the minute you find out the guy next to you is making more money than you, even if it's a very marginal more money than you, suddenly your whole job has become unsatisfactory and your life has become unsatisfactory. So that ties in with this feeling of loss aversion. Loss aversion also applies to investments. When you buy Natco, let's say for 750 rupees and goes all the way up to 950 rupees and it's come back to 780 rupees, you're still in the positive. But the fact that it went to 900 and came down, you feel like you've lost. That also can create a loss, feeling of being not wealthy, that kind of mentality. So stop being like that and brutal to yourself. Don't brutally beat up yourself like that. It's all right. We all suffer from this. And now that you know about it, you can see how to mitigate this. And I want you to remember 3 fundamental things which are important, which make you feel poor when you're not, is your relationship to money. You're fully not aware of your financial health and you do not really know what income you have and expenses you have. So you tend to be a person who's very cautious. Like I know some people When they're not poor, they tend to think themselves to be poor because they came from life like that and their background is like that. They imagine themselves to be poor when they're not. So improve your relationship with money. This will definitely change your perspective of what is wealthy and not wealthy. The other thing is not having an emergency buffer. People, when they don't have an emergency buffer, meaning some extra cash sitting in the bank for an unexpected expense, tend to feel not wealthy. So all you need to do to fix that is create a bit of emergency fund so you have a healthy balance in your savings account. So in case of an emergency, you know what to do and you don't feel that you're poor. Meaning that you have made investments, you're in mutual funds, you have insurance, you have this and that, ABC, you've done, ticked everything off. But because you don't have some liquid cash sitting with you, you tend to feel scared and you tend to feel not wealthy. That's what I'm talking about. That's what emergency buffer is. So do that. The third reason why we tend to feel poor is because we're not managing our debt very well. Some of us have taken on debt and paying these EMIs, and we're struggling to keep a track of the EMIs when they're coming, and we always feel like we're being chased by EMIs because we're not taking the time to sit and organize ourselves and put our finances into order. We feel we're managing debt when we're not, that we're actually okay, that you don't have to worry about it. But we tend to worry because we're just so disorganized. So just the mere fact of sitting and organizing yourself, you'll get out of this. So stop doing that. Stop thinking that you're in debt when you're being burdened by debt when you're not. It's like watching someone entering a shallow end of the swimming pool and thinking they're going to drown. Everybody looking around them think they're crazy. I'm sure a lot of your friends and your family members think you're crazy when you go on complaining about your debt when you hardly have any debt. It's normal. I know a lot of people who do this. It's okay. And the last and the fourth reason why we tend to feel we are not wealthy and we tend to think we are poor is we have an individual lens, what we see ourselves through, and then there's a societal expectation. Meaning your parents feel, I put you through college, you studied in a great school, you studied in a great college, and now that you've got a great job, they have an expectation for you to do so much, that you should have such a bank balance, that you should be driving certain car, you should live in certain cities, you should. And that can be very brutal. Make you even feel that you're lazy when you're not. And I get you for that. So stop feeling that societal expectation and societal pressure, even if it's someone close and near to you, even if it's a spouse, stop feeling that. Wear your individual lens, look at your life through your lens and analyze it through your perspectives, and remember to hold on to those and constantly remind you with you. And stop focusing on them. And that kind of focus will improve your expectations and the pressure you're putting on yourself. And you will realize that you're not poor, that you're actually pretty wealthy. This happens to even my brother. My brother likes to imagine himself to be poor because of certain things that happen to him in life, certain situations that happen in life, which have left such scar tissue on him. And he's so brutal to himself and he doesn't stop doing it. But I have to be there to constantly remind him to stop doing it. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from in this video. I'm not trying to say everything is hunky-dory, but I'm trying to tell you that your situation is not half bad as you think. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye.
I will be in Kuwait, as you know, on 24th November, the Friday between 3:30 and 6:30 p.m. I'm at the Yaqub Banquet Hall, Millennium Hotel and Convention Center, Ring Road, Abu Tar Al Ghafari Street, Kuwait. Those desirous of meeting me there can contact the WhatsApp number given below or drop a mail at the email ID given. My team will contact you at the earliest. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.